I didn't know I could do this happen. Honestly, I don't even remember my life before victory. Frank gave us the opportunity of a lifetime.
Welcome back to the Movie Buffers, and tonight we're going to be discussing Don't Worry, Darling. This is a 2022 American psychological thriller film that is directed by Olivia Wilde from a screenplay by Katie Silberman, based on a spec script by Carey Van Dyke, Shane Van Dyke, and Silberman. So what the hell is a spec script? This is also known as a speculative screenplay, which is non-commissioned and unsolicited screenplay, meaning nobody wanted it, they wrote it, and they took it to a movie producer, production company, or a studio in the hopes that it will be picked up. So apparently it was. And the film stars Harry Styles, Florence Pugh, Olivia Wilde, who also directed it, Gemma Chan, KiKi Layne, Nick Kroll, and Chris Pine. So, Chris, let me get this straight. Instead of doing Star Trek 4, you do this? Is this where we're at, Pine? Okay, anyway. The film follows the idyllic housewife living in a company town who begins to suspect a sinister secret being kept from its residents by the man who runs it. As far as the major critics, the consensus is, according to Rotten Tomatoes, despite an intriguing array of talent on either side of the camera, Don't Worry Darling is mostly muddled rehash of overly familiar themes. Well, I sadly have to agree. Now on to my review. Okay, people, spoiler alert! I cannot critically talk about this movie without spoiling what is actually going on. So if you wish to experience the movie, stop and go watch it and come back. Though I feel that even if someone told you what was going on, which I'm about to do, it really wouldn't spoil the movie per se, but there it is. Have you seen Stepford Wives? Well, this is an updated version basically. Instead of robot wives, there are wives trapped in a virtual reality against their will. It is set in that very idyllic short few years of the 1950s where white America was happy and in the iconic suburbia free of immigrants and blacks. Even though this film has plenty of diversity, with a gay couple, 2 blacks, and a few Asians sprinkled in, but it didn't escape me that the first person to try and get out was a dark-skinned black woman who we see try to escape by attempting suicide. It starts out in the dream world of the traditional 1950s, with the married couples having cocktail parties, great passionate sex, amazing dinners with steak, perfect breakfast, all served up by the little lady of the homestead, and each wife walking her husband out to the car and waving goodbye in unison. What more could you ask for in the world? Well, that right there ought to be a clue what is going on in this movie. Right there, and we're not even 10 minutes in. You start to see the cracks when at a party given by their illustrious leader Frank, played by Chris Pine, and Margaret, the suicidal wife, calls out the leader stating that he is lying and this is all BS. Florence Pugh, who plays Alice, and her husband Jack, played by Harry Styles, start to see the cracks as well. Alice begins to hallucinate about seeing Margaret in mirrors and seeing her slit her throat. Her husband promptly says that she is under a lot of strain, calls her hysterical, and has the local doctor come out and try to fix her. None of this works, and Alice continues to spiral downward. Then they try and freaking lobotomize her, and that seemed to do the trick. But Jack, who of course knows what's going on, keeps humming this tune that seems to trigger her. He doesn't realize this, but this is what is keeping Alice tethered to the real world. Rookie mistake. Since the plot themes are very familiar and we've seen it many times, it is still fairly interesting to see the story play out. There is plenty of hot sex scenes, beautiful nostalgic scenery, and even a Thelma and Louise car chase in the end. But is it worth the watch? Yeah, you know, if you have nothing else better to do and you want to watch something different, but then you quickly realize, again, that it's not that different, it didn't suck, even though it barely gets 2 stars. The acting, I thought, was very good, and the storyline and the writing, I thought, was, pretty good. But we've all been here before. There's nothing original about it. Now, maybe if everyone was dead, or the real world was a post-World War III Thunderdome type of scenario, then at least that would have been interesting and a little different, a little new twist. So all in all, I give it a just okay rating. So have you seen Don't Worry Darling? What did you think of the anticlimactic plot non-twist? Let me know your comments below, and as always, leave a like and please subscribe. That helps this channel grow, and if you look at the numbers, I really friggin' need it. Or maybe I will go into my own virtual reality where I would be very happy to just drink margaritas, stay drunk, and screw my hot computer generated husband. Yeah, I would love that. Until next time, peace, 2 fingers.